Ida Grove is a very interesting and unique small community. You come through town and you see the castle spread out, but there's so much more to our community. It's a great town. People who come work here aren't necessarily from Ida Grove, and so they bring in a flavor from other communities, bigger cities, and so I feel like we're always trying to be progressive. I was very fortunate to have studied under a professor that was well written in the field of concrete design at a time when concrete design was starting to become the new wave of steel design. So I was very fortunate to have that type of instruction. Early on, I started getting involved in the water hydraulics laboratory and started to volunteer and eventually getting jobs at the water hydraulics lab. I still have an interest. It's an amazing facility. It's just, and people do not know about it. It's extremely exciting when I go back to the university and I see how that whole Water Hydraulics Institute has grown into what it is today. So in 1999, we started a company called Hawkeye Fabrication. I'm not sure what else we would have called it because the name was just, as soon as I mentioned it, everybody looked and said, perfect. But it's called Hawkeye Fabrication, and it is a steel fabrication shop, and it fabricates custom structural steel for bridges and highways. And so between the two companies, we work all over Iowa and Nebraska. We represent 3 other fabricators in 3 different states. And so our claims to fame is that we have built several special projects through Des Moines on Interstate I-235, where there's probably 35 structures that have our decorative handrails, our steel products within the structures. But if you drive down through I-235, it's like a testament to what our business can accomplish, and we take great pride. It's like our art museum as you drive through town. One thing that Ida Grove was really missing compared to larger communities that we both had a dear interest in is that Ida Grove needed some kind of a community rec center. And we could not afford an architect, so this is where my engineering skills came in. I found someone who helped do some design for us before. We kind of got in and we said, okay, let's keep it simple, but let's make it nice. And probably the best part about this project is the first project that I can remember that everyone in town became involved with. And by the time it was over, we hired very few people, and most of it was community donated labor. And at times there would be 30 to 40 people in the building painting or doing trim or whatever they felt their skills could do. It was amazing for us to see the community come together and have so much pride in a structure, which I've never seen done before here, and hopefully we'll be able to do that on a future project. What's important to us is that hopefully we've instilled these values into our children. To give back, to be a part of something. You only get what you put into something. These are all those, cliche sayings that you hear, but we firmly believe in them. This is a wonderful community, but I believe it's a wonderful community because of what people have done to make it there. The donations, when you drive around our community and you see all these wonderful things, public money did not pay for those. These are people who are willing to stand up and say, I want a better community. I believe we need this. I believe we need that. And I'm willing to help, or I'm willing to donate. I'm willing to see what it's going to take to get it done. You're humbled by what people do sometimes. And I find that at the University of Iowa. When I'm in a meeting and I see somebody walk in and they've just made a $200,000 donation because they believe in a writing workshop, or they believe in some other form of a donation, you sit there and you're humbled because you realize that's their private money. That's their desire to make things better, and that's the way they feel they can give back. These are very exciting times to be a part of the university. The future is bright, and I can't say with any more pride how excited I am to be a Hawkeye.